So welcome everybody. I'm Peter Giesman. Welcome to another in the series of Zoom sessions where we've been presenting products that you utilise, and we hope to educate you a bit on their use and maintenance. So this morning, James was scheduled to be our host, but Stephen's going to capably fill in. Stephen, would you like to introduce yourself and introduce more about the topic, which is an introduction to digital microscopy?
Thanks, Peter. Thanks for everybody that's turned up. Yes, I've been with AIS for 7 years, and I think one of the things that blew my mind when I joined the microscope company was digital imaging, how you get an image from a camera, from a microscope onto a PC. So that's what this is about today. It's to try get you to understand the products and how easy it is to connect. We have a range of cameras we're using, and we have a range of devices. So we'll start from here. The one thing you do with we need to actually go through our microscopes. So the one thing you need with I'm going to have to swing this around, unfortunately, because I don't have. Okay, you have a monocular microscope there, which has no option for a camera. You have a monocular microscope with a video port, which allows a connection of a camera on top. Then we go to what they call is a trinocular microscope, 2 eyepieces, C-mount adapter, and camera. Then the standard binocular microscope, 2 eyepieces, no C-mount adapter, no video port, but you still can view an image. So basically the things you need to view an image on a microscope, you need a C-mount adapter, which is this device. This device connects into the video port on a microscope. If you've got any questions in between, please ask. So basically you need that to start with. So you have the microscope here, get that across. The C-mount is under there, so it slots into just on the head of the microscope, and the camera then attaches to that. So you have the camera that will actually screw onto that. You have a range of connectivity with these. You can connect via Wi-Fi, USB, or Ethernet. So what I'm trying to do today is to show you the different types of connections we have. With the cameras, you typically a box like that. You will either have a USB stick, which gives you your software to allow you to connect the camera to the PC through the microscope, or you have Moti Connect. Now, Moti Connect is a free download on Android and Apple devices. It will allow you to do connection only with Wi-Fi cameras. So what we're looking at today is the first camera we're going to look at is a Wi-Fi camera, which is connected to the monocular microscope. This stage, we've got an image through the eyepiece. You adjust, once you're actually looking at an image with a monocular microscope, you actually have to view the image on the through the eyepiece. Once you've got that in connected up, then you need to adjust your controls on the microscope looking at the screen. It's the simplest way of doing it. It's the only way you can probably do it. So you get the image in clear focus there. Once it's clear, you'll probably notice that the difference between what you're seeing there in the eye and the screen is slightly out. That's where you make your adjustments. We then can Wi-Fi that device to 6 other devices. I have an iPad here. I have a PC there connected via an Ethernet cable. Also, you can connect that to phones, being Android and Apple. Basically, the connections will give you 6 devices at the one time. The device, again, with the Ethernet cable allows you to do PC. So each device is operating separately. You'll notice with the PC, I think if I can get that here, we're running the full version of the software on there. I don't know if you can see that. So it's running its own version, the 3.1, while the other devices are running the the Modi Connect Wi-Fi software. They work perfectly on all images, all items. You can process an image by a click of a button. You will notice that most of the time on, say, the portable devices, you have a little camera icon. You hit that camera icon, it will then produce an image for you. With PC, again, it's slightly different, but you still are looking at a camera icon in your top right corner. So basically, we're looking here as an icon for a camera. Click on that and you'll get the image. The images on your portable devices save directly to your images on, like particularly if you took a photo with a camera, you have a library. The library on the portable device will be called Modi Connect, and all your images will be saved there. The advantage with that is that you can email an image. You can send an image very quickly. The software allows you to measure an image and allows you to annotate on an image. And again, you can change your resolution on the image. You can do the history that you're using a 4 times objective, a 10 times objective, or a 40 times objective. If you wish, you can also do 100 times objectives. For devices that don't have a port, and we're talking typically a monocular microscope, which we've got here, and it doesn't have a video port, the cameras come with a thing called a focusable lens and a adapter. So you've got 2 adapters. I'll just get the focusable lens for you. So this comes in the box. You've got a focusable lens and you have 2 eyepiece adapters. A lot of people think they fit in the eyepiece. They actually fit over the eyepiece. So basically what you do is you connect your focusable lens, then you connect it to an eyepiece adapter by screwing it in that way. Once that's done, then you can screw your camera onto the bottom of that. Once that's fixed, partly screwed on, you can attach it then to your monocular microscope. And that will then connect up and you'll be able to take images like you do on the other ones. And you get a perfect image every time. And the cameras come with those devices to allow you to connect to any other microscope. It doesn't have to be Motic. It can connect to any microscope you have. So they're basically 30 or 38 centimeter eyepiece adapters. With that, you can ship that from one device to another. So for the binocular one we had at the very end before, you could actually take that off once you've been connected up and put on the binocular one. It doesn't matter what eyepiece you put on, you'll get a perfect image with the software. With the USB, the Wi-Fi camera we have, and I'll go through the cameras in a sec, the Wi-Fi camera here has a Wi-Fi port. It also has a port to put a Ethernet cable into it, which allows you to connect directly to a PC. If you don't have an Ethernet cable in a PC and you're concerned, there is an adapter you can get with these, which is $24, and it allows you to plug that into the USB port of your PC and connect the Ethernet cable into the end of it, and you'll get a perfect connection. The cameras that you get, there's a range. We're getting from 4 megapixel up to 22 megapixel. The typical camera we're using for Wi-Fi is a Modicam X5. Oddly enough, the X3 was a 3 megapixel, X4 was a 4 megapixel, and X5 is a 4 megapixel. I don't know why they didn't call it X4 Plus, but they've called an X5, 4 megapixel. What they've done, they've improved the connectivity on that particular camera, and it connects up very quickly and easily. From there, you get a range of cameras that will do different things for different purposes. If you don't want Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi is reasonably cheap. It's not overly expensive. You can go to the Motocam E50, which is a direct connection camera. Now that means you'll go directly onto your USB port of your PC or your notebook, but you can't Wi-Fi an image to that. From there, you have what we call, and I'm going to swing this around, a 1080X. Now, what the 1080X is, that is a Wi-Fi camera, but it has a HDMI port. That cable is directly into a TV. That's the image you're getting. That is a direct connection. So you don't need a PC for that. So if you've got a TV at home, you've got a 1080X, which is an 8 megapixel camera. By USB cable, you get directly into the PC and you can see that image. If you want to control the image, it comes with a mouse, and that allows you to do some adjustments. Brilliant device. The next camera you will get, and this is what they call the ProLite 5. This is typically the top of the range of the cameras that Motic have. And it's only really designed to use with epifluorescence and polarizing. So it's brilliant in low light. Again, because it has that adaptability, you're paying a hefty price for that. So you're looking about the $2,500 for a ProLite, which is a 5 megapixel, but is designed for epifluorescence and polarization, which again is low light. Outside that, is there any questions about the cameras or connectivity at the moment?
I'm sure people will have some questions. If you'd like to either unmute yourself or just put something in the chat, that'd be great. We'll look out for that.
So the camera's pricing structures from $900 up to, at the very highest end, is $4,500. And that will be a high-end 4000X, which is a Wi-Fi camera again, 8 megapixel, but very quick and will work in low light. That's the high spec camera they have. Outside that, the range that we carry, typically in the office, we carry the Motocam X5 and the Motocam E50, which are very usable. You will also find out if you're trying to put an image onto a large screen, that anything 3 megapixel and above will do that perfectly. Once you get to sort of 5, 8 megapixel, 20 megapixel, it's really designed maybe for the pathology where you're trying to really zoom in on one particular part of a slide and you get a really good image. But typically for what we would use in general school areas, engineering, the E50, the X5, the Wi-Fi, again, is great. And then we'll go up there from, say, maybe an 8 megapixel to a 10 or 12 megapixel. The connectivity, again, I've mentioned. Again, is there any questions? Because there probably isn't a lot more I can tell you about the cameras and the connectivity. It's really, again, a C-mount camera and USB. You've got the software, again, as I mentioned, which is by USB stick. It used to be by CD. They got rid of the CD as times change, and so the software is upgradable. If you've got a version of software which is old, you can upgrade that on the Motic website. If you have trouble doing that, let me know. I can get you a version of it, which can be sent to you via a zip file, which will let you get to the latest version of the software. And the software
you've probably covered everything in a nutshell there, Stephen. So just allow people some time just to formulate a question. It would be great if we had some feedback from you guys to see what you would like to know about the digital cameras and microscopes. So if someone is interested more in having a personalised demonstration, they could get in touch and someone from AIS can pop out and see them.
Yeah, well, if it's in Melbourne, I'll do that, or myself or James. If it's interstate and they can't be there, then we can do this online. And I'm quite happy to... Okay, thanks, Sharon. Yeah, software... I would have thought probably every 3 years. It hasn't been. It was version 2, then it went to 2.1, then went to 3. Now it's at 3.1. The only reason they went from 3 to 3.1 was to allow the Ethernet cable on the Wi-Fi camera to connect seamlessly without having to change the path that it was going on. So yeah, 3.1. So since I've been in the company, that was 7 years. It was 2.1 then. Now it's went to 3 and 3.1. I don't know if there's going to be any more changes unless they change the cameras. But it's very reliable.
No worries. Thanks for that there, Stephen.
Again, if you're looking at prices on the cameras, I'm quite happy to, if you go to sales@aispl.com.au, I can send you pricing and specifications. Again, if you do buy a camera or you have bought a camera and a microscope and you don't know how to connect it and you're concerned about, give me a call. I should be able to talk you through it. If I can't talk you through it, then we'll go into a video call and we'll do it that way. But that service is available all the time. So if you have a camera, don't waste it by not using it.
So HK has asked for some notes and pricing on the cameras. So HK,
Yep.
Do you know HK?
I don't know HK.
HK, if you could just respond to that email that you was sent this morning with the
Hudson Institute. Okay. Yeah, look, no issues. I can send you pricing of the cameras we've got and the software upgrades. Again, I know there was an issue with the software upgrade. That was that's been resolved. If you can't upgrade the software, get back to me and I'll send you a zip version of it. And the pricing on the cameras, again, I can go through. There's a range. There's probably 40 cameras in their range. We don't choose to carry 40 cameras. Basically, we're trying to have a product that we, if you ask for, say, an E50 or an X5, we've got in stock, we can ship it. We've tried to get the range down to about 10 cameras. So we've got the E50, which is a 5 megapixel, the Wi-Fi X5. We have the Pro Light, which works with equifluorescence and polarizing. Then we've got the 1080, which is a 8 megapixel HDMI, and the 1080X, which is an 8 megapixel HDMI and Wi-Fi version. But if there is a range of camera that you are looking at that we don't have on our site and Motic have it, we can get it. The only thing, it may be a delay of 8 weeks or so for us to get it in, but we can get the range in for you.
No worries. Okay, I think that might just about wrap it up, unless we've got any last-minute requests for information. So thank you very much, Stephen, for covering that range for us. And thanks everybody for coming on board this morning. Really appreciate your attendance. If you've got any follow-up questions at all, please just reply to that email that you received with the link to today's demonstration, and we'll get back to you on those. And until next time, we shall see you then.
Thanks very much, guys. Thanks for getting on.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks,